So I was going to talk about some knife sheaths. They're right there. I still am. But I wanted to read a little bit. Honestly, I read a little bit earlier. It's funny how that works. I got so many books just scattered throughout my house. I finished most of them, but I reread. And, when you're going with the flow, you're kind of just more receptive to just simple things. I saw this diamond sutra sitting on my recliner, and I had this little green bookmark sticking out, and I didn't remember putting that there. But I did remember this butterfly that my daughter drew and cut out. The butterfly caught my eye. It's funny how that works. Going with the flow, whatever you want to call it. I've always been a spiritually sensitive person. You can see, and I'm not going to try to convert anybody. My readings are very eclectic, as you can see. I started off with Christianity, but it wasn't until I went on a spirit quest of my own that I truly began to understand Scripture. I knew the stories as a kid, as it was taught to me, but it didn't really hit home until I explored the depths of what I feel God is. And I know God is everywhere. So I'm very open about reading Buddhist texts because I do believe that Siddhartha was a prophet. I do believe that Muhammad was a prophet, as was Jesus. Ibn Arabi, definitely a prophet on the mystic side. But these people who have had a glimpse of the Creator, the Almighty, it's for us. Who are we to judge? We are here to watch. But yeah, it seems like I didn't really understand Christianity until I understood the true capacity for God. Gotta follow the butterflies, I guess, right? So this is the Diamond Sutra, the perfection of wisdom. None of the things that fill our lives is by itself false. It is only our conceptualization and attachment that makes them false. Meanwhile, The perfection of wisdom transforms these obstacles into aids to enlightenment. At the end of chapter 6, the Buddha likened his teachings to a raft and told Subhuti to let go of all of the teachings, all dharmas as well as no dharmas. Just as the no dharma of emptiness must be put aside, the dharma of prajna must also be left behind, lest it become a new obstruction or attachment. Thus, such a teaching not only transcends the world of language, it also transcends itself. No other teaching is so self-effacing, and yet so sure of itself. It is the self-effacing because it asserts nothing, and it is sure of itself because it asserts nothing. It frees us of all assertions and opens the door to all knowledge. This is why it is called the perfection of wisdom. In this name, there is no meaning. For there is no name. The wise find it in their minds. The foolish seek external sounds. Shengi says, the name is a false name. Beneath this false name is the real body. The paramita of wisdom, proclaimed by the Buddha, is verbal wisdom. But from verbal wisdom arises insight wisdom, by means of which we see that all things are empty, including wisdom. Thus, the paramita of wisdom is not the paramita of wisdom. But when we see that the wisdom is empty, we see the real form of all dharmas. This is the real wisdom. Thus, the Buddha calls it the paramita of wisdom. Expectations, names. None of the things that fill our lives is by itself false. It is only our conceptualization and attachment to it that make them false. A lot of times, you can find things in unlikely places that don't conflict with scripture. Anyways, onto these sheaths. So I've made quite a few, and I've customized a few more. This one I got at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, SMKW. Me and my wife visited it 2 years ago, and on the way back home from Chicago back to North Carolina, I bought this one, a Boker knife, another sheath, and then some sheaths for my Victorinox. They had this. This was in the rack or the display case next to the Rough Riders. I know because I had just looked at the Rough Rider, that beer tender one, and I was like, oh man, I really wish this was a flathead screwdriver. I could use it, but it's like the gauge is too thick to be a flathead. So I set it back, and then a barrel, like a whiskey barrel, an old whiskey barrel, instead of like a display. Badass. I just saw these, but it didn't look like this. It was pancake flat and dry as shit. $5 for one, $8 for the other. I said, what the hell? Souvenirs. This is SMKW. So I bought it, took it home, and I had my soldier knife with me on that particular adventure. And I carried it in pocket. It can be done, but it's a little bit unruly. So I waxed this baby up. Well, actually, I wet it first. And the Victorinox, stainless steel and aluminum, ain't gonna rust. So I squeeze this baby in there. And then I let it dry. I formed it, and it's perfect. This is a Bear & Son sheath from Bear & Son Cutlery. They still sell them for like 15 bucks on SMKW, or you can buy it from Bear & Son Direct. Diameter, thickness of the hide, stitching, everything. I have not needed to make any modifications, customizations, or repairs to this. My dog actually chewed up this one when I was sleeping. It was on my belt, pissed me off. But look, it's just got a couple teeth marks, and I got a golden retriever lab that it looks. She's a big dog. Anyways, I was kind of pissed, but it didn't really do anything. Just needed a little bit of, you see kind of her teeth marks. Just a memory, no damage. The stitching even held up. I just need a little bit of conditioner, work it in. But the retention is perfect on it. For a soldier knife or this knife, the Swiss Soldier or the Victorinox. This is the Forester, and it's called an M grip. They made this, you're not gonna find a serial number for the American market. This is straight Europe, and this is made for the Japanese market, the M grip. I've always looked at these as ugly as hell. My entire life, we've seen these for years, 2 decades. This style of Swiss Army knife, and I've loved Swiss Army knife forever, but I just never wanted to buy one of these. They're really durable and comfortable, and the looks kind of grow on you. For me, at least, it did. Check this out. It's perfect. So a Bear & Son belt sheath. Absolutely perfect. It's so comfortable. It's not too bulky. It's just right. Take my word for it, because I bought other sheaths and I've had to modify and just make work. This one I just put on. So this is an Atoza sheath I've heavily modified. I used 2 different kinds of stitching, red and blue. And then one of my subscribers was wondering how to reinforce this, because they had the same sheath and it was just always so floppy when they put it through their belt loop. So I showed them a technique for how to splice a stitching. So I used the yellow cord to demonstrate how to splice in a new stitch to reinforce this belt loop hole. I had to redo the stitching because the stitching was less than adequate. It was too dry, so I had to condition it from the inside. Buck 110. Richlight scales, bear head bolsters with the palm swell. S35 VN. Great. I didn't make this one, but I say I modify the sheaths. I always modify my sheaths, because even the buck sheath, the way it normally is, the way it normally sits, it sits way too high up on the belt. Like, it digs into my side, and it's big enough as it is, especially for the 110. It's big enough. So with it high up also, I went through this phase where, like, I went to work, came home, took care of the kids, went to work, came home, took care of the kids, went home, and then I got fat. I got pretty fucking fat. Like, normally, like right now, I'm like 175. This is me. Like, this is me. 175. Like, this is me. I got up to like 215. I was pudgy. I was really pudgy. So a knife sheath like this dug dead into my side, and the love handles when I was driving, the seat belt wasn't even the issue. It was just the fucking love handles, man. It was digging. It was uncomfortable. And then it would slide down and pull my pants down because the love handles, you know. You got love handles, your ass fucking tapers. So that belt just fucking slides right down. It didn't work out. So I learned my lesson. What I did was I just removed the belt loop, I cut the stitching. Thank God they don't glue it. And then I just took the existing hole for the top of the strap right here, and I moved the bottom up. And I took the top one, I had to make new holes for the top on the back of the lid. As you can see there, just make the same exact stitch pattern. All you have to do is basically take the holes on here, bring it up about, let's see, top to bottom, it's 1 inch. 1 inch. The top stitch, top border, 1 inch, draw a line, and then hold the strap over and just use a needle to poke the hole so you keep the same orient, like the same diameter, and then restitch it. You start off with the rough hide out. So basically, actually just think about it before you do it. I'm not gonna walk you through it. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. And it sits a lot lower. This thing is so comfortable now. It's heavy still. No shit, it's not gonna take that away. Get a good belt. But as far as digging in your side, if you're fat or not, like when you finish it, the belt loop should be pretty much just, I didn't want to see the belt loop from this side because that's a classic look. That's the Buck 110 sheath. I didn't want to have something fucking sticking out. Make sure it's right there. And you'll see it's 75, 80% better. I saw this one, it was kind of annoying with the whole orientation because as you can see, the two different styles here. So the one I made, the knife is parallel with the body, and then this one, and it doesn't go past the belt loop. As you can see, the knife doesn't go past the belt loop, and this one just kind of raises up. So this is another situation where it kind of digs into your fucking love handles if you're a bigger guy. If you're a slimmer guy, like right now I can wear this and it's not a problem, but a year and a half, 2 years ago, yeah, no, it was just annoying. Picking up my pants at work more than I'm working. Fuck that. Yeah, so that's kind of another reason I made this one. And this one I've showed recently. It's breaking in very nicely. It's just meant to be. I am gonna just stamp a couple more of these out. See what some of you think. I'll put them, the sheaths, I'll put on that eBay link. And then if you guys want to try it, let me know how it is. I ain't some designer, so it ain't gonna be expensive. Just paying for the time. So anyways, I'll probably throw a couple of these on there just so you can see how it is. If you got a 55, that would be handy. Because that's what I made it for. Like a little backup knife for those light days. Just, yeah. I've had days like that. Not many, but I had to, this is gonna be clutch. So anyways, it's got a regular waxed hide on one side. Green and gray stitching. And ox blood. Ox blood aniline. And for my working days, I usually worked in an office, like when I was an employee, and I did that stuff. Between an office and a warehouse, so I was constantly dealing with like management who wore a tie and never even rolled their sleeves up, to like people in the warehouse smelling like cigarettes and stale booze, but just like from the night before, and they're just trucking. So like my world was always just like an amalgam of both, like business, casual. That's my life. So you can see the theme right here, like business, casual, business, casual. So that was the reason for this. This is the Pioneer X. I got a little night eyes, I think, or night pocket clip. I saw somebody do that years ago. It's been about 4 and a half, 4 years now. I've had that on there. It hasn't come off. That's why the only reason I'm saying that is because it actually lasted. It's just like automotive adhesive. I thought this shit would fall off. Like, automotive adhesive is good. So I expected like a year of good use. Nah, man, this is actually, it's decent. It's decent. Like, the only reason I haven't taken it off is because the only other conception I have of auto adhesive is that it's gonna be gunky mess. Anyways, but it works out. So I have this for just throw in my pockets because sometimes I wore slacks, and this is tailored exactly for slacks. Not some jeans. No, because jeans are sometimes square on the bottom. This is slacks. So if some of you are custom leather makers and you've never considered such things, you're slacking, bro. I'm that consumer you want to talk to. I'm not in direct competition or anything. I got other means to make money. I'm just saying, like, step the games up before I just start doing it myself. But anyways, it fits into the slacks perfect. So when it falls into the pocket, it literally stays upright. And I have a little pen light here, a little through night. I like pen lights because they're just better. They're just better. I just like the way they work out and handle. And then when you're a technician or a professional going around doing appraisals and inspections, you pull out a big ass fucking flashlight like this, looking like I don't know, or you pull out something really bright and with finesse. Like, I'm a pro, like a doctor. Like, that's what I do. That's just business casual, yo. Gotta think about these things. This. I've always wanted a wallet / knife holder. Just not a main wallet, but just one I can just throw in my slacks. So I was playing around with this concept. It's kind of like my art, you know, a block of wood on one side. It just looks like a block of wood. And it's not till you like actually take a closer look that you see it has depth. It's just like that. So it looks like a panel of leather. And it was subtle with the stitching. I used some old techniques for decorative stitching, and I did it this way because, I mean, it'll actually fit two separate kinds of knife. So, this is the Victorinox Bantam Alox. It just has the simple pen blade and that combo tool. This is awesome. Doesn't get enough credit. Fits perfectly in there. Debit card, credit cards, some cash, movie tickets, whatever it is. Throw it in the back pocket. It's square, so it's kind of like it fits in the back pocket perfectly. No wiggle room, no like extra bulk. Because I didn't want to layer it like the knife on top of the cards, because then you just have like an ass full of bullshit. Like, no, man, no. So I spread it out. I got a big ass pocket in the ass, so I'm gonna spread it out. And it's actually comfortable. I can wear a knife there. Big perk also. At first I made this for the Bantam, and I was like, I wonder. Fucking perfect. It was meant to be. And it's still slimmer than most of y'all motherfuckers' wallets. I like this idea. I like the idea more with my Bantam here, because on those days it hasn't happened, but like I'm sure it will, where the kids freak me out or we gotta go and an emergency happens and all I have is my wallet. Don't grab my knife, don't grab my flashlight, nothing, and I got my wallet, and then if I look in there, at least I have the bare, a blade and a little combo tool. I don't really use it often, but that's why I got it, just to forget about it. And then I made this little leather sheath to kind of give it a home. So let's see. The Diamond Sutra. Maybe I'll read something else next time. Thought I'd break the ice with some Buddhism. People don't really like to talk about like Bible stuff or the Quran. There's some beautiful things in the Quran. Just ask Ibn Arabi, Sufi mystic. There's beautiful things in Christianity too. Ask Eckhart Tolle, Christian mystic. There's beautiful things in Buddhism. Lao Tzu. Siddhartha. God's an artist. He just paints different pictures. It's us arguing about it, just like we're arguing in the comments on videos like this. Sure, a lot of it's bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit in Christianity. There's a lot of bullshit in Christianity. Some bullshit in Buddhism. There's some crazy shit in the Quran. But it all is just mostly misinterpreted. sometimes. But other times, people just get so scared of other people's opinions that they don't take the time to look for the actual God inside of it. I mean, because if a way of life, and that's what I'm going to call religions, if a way of life was so impactful that it's been remembered for this long, no matter what you want to call it, if a way of life was that impactful, it had to have been touched by God. And we didn't start arguing about it until people put their hands on it. But if it's still around, it's because there's still some God there. Gotta open your heart, learn to love deeply. Stand true to your convictions and you won't be scared to look. You'll know your God will protect you. I feel like some people need to hear that. Your God doesn't teach you to be fearful. Only of Him. But He doesn't teach you to fear other gods, other ideas. But He does tell you to be cautious. Keep that heart open. I guess I could have did this on live. What a shame. Something probably would have happened. I have too many kids to chance it though. So I'll just let the spirit out when the spirit comes out. Hopefully I remember to push record and hopefully it doesn't get... The memory's been filling up on my phone. I gotta delete some of that old crap. Thanks. Take it easy.